Let's go.
All right, so welcome you guys. And as we had a brief chat about now, is we're going to talk about building an offer or constructing an offer for your clients. And let me just bring up my slides over here. We can talk about that. And yeah, I'd like for this to be a little bit of an interactive session, because I think we can get quite creative in terms of how we can structure offers that make sense to you and make sense to your clients. So we're going to be talking about promoting your business and creating offers. And the reason why I think it's important for us to kind of think outside the box, or sort of put things aside that we've learned before, or the tips and tricks that we've heard other people talk about, is that online fitness business is different to in-person training or business that we've done before. So doing a business online requires a new way of structuring and promoting your offers to clients. So the one thing that's very exciting about it, that allows you to expand your offer and to really go big on it and add a ton of value, extra value in the training for your clients. Because as we'll sort of talk about just now, it's very important in terms of how we position our business and our training to our clients, and also how we can sort of give a ton of value to your clients, because you want them to become fans of yours, and ultimately that you can promote your business that way. So let's talk about your offer. So if you think about that, what is your offer? As in, sort of briefly think, a lot of people probably immediately go to, well, this is my product and I sell this and I sell that. Let me give you a little tip there, that your offer is not, or your product is not the offer, okay? And the problem about with the offer is that a lot of people think about offers in the wrong way, but it's actually 90% of failed promotions that people do, whether it be in the fitness industry or anywhere else, is the problem is because of offers that weren't done properly. And then I want to sort of say that there's 100% guarantee strategy for increasing your revenue over the next 12 months. And that would be frequent offers in front of more people. So if we can regularly put more ideas, promote ourselves and structure different kinds of offers and different types of things to put in front of clients, that's definitely going to generate more revenue than if we don't. Okay. So the difference between a product and an offer. So I spoke about that a little bit. If you think about the word offer, an offer is a verb. It's the action of asking somebody or presenting something and asking them for a response to that. Where a product is a noun. So a product is just that thing that you sell, your program or your nutritional plan or whatever it is. And here's a shocking revelation for you. Few people actually want your exercise program. So if you think about that for a while, I mean, that would just sound so shocking. Then what are we doing? Why are we here if people don't want your exercise program? And you think about that little picture there, the man over there, he wants to be over there. Maybe he doesn't want an exercise program. He wants the transformation. He wants to be in that place over there. So if you're challenging me and you say, yeah, but I've got clients who love exercising, they love being with me, they love the whole thing about, doing yoga, and it makes them feel great. Well, at the end of the day, if you had a pill, if I invented a pill that would make them undergo that transformation, this guy over there, if I say to him, you drink this pill, tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up looking like that. Or you can join my 6-month workout program with me, Neil Duplessis, and you're going to look like me. I just, and it rhymed, And so if you offer those two things, which one is most people going to take? they probably do. If you obviously everything that the pill is safe, it's not going to kill you, and all of those sort of things. Most people will say, just give me the pill, let's get this over with. I want the transformation. Therefore, when we offer things to people, we create promotions, we need to talk about the transformation and not about our product, which a lot of us love to do. We love to tell everybody the ins and outs about why our product is so special, our program is so special, but people want to know, how am I going to get to that end point? The other thing about offers, you get something called irresistible offer. This is that kind of offer where when you tell it to somebody, it's a no-brainer. It's like, boom, I want that. Okay, no, I don't care how much it costs. That is what I want. So an irresistible offer solves a problem, and it speaks to the desired end result in the prospect and how it's going to change their lives. So your offer is the unique way in which you present or sell your course that makes it a no-brainer. Okay, cool. So the 90-10 of irresistible offer is the offer itself. It is not all the other factors around it, like where you're promoting and how you, whatever. It is the actual offer that you construct. And we're going to go through in detail how to create one of these irresistible offers. So you've got to ask yourself, when you're prospecting clients, do you spend more time talking about your program, or do you talk about them and their transformation and the possibilities for them? Okay.
I think it's not only just the transformation, it's just the immediate result that they feel. Like when someone's just finished an exercise session, the endorphins. So yes. It's just talking about, even that's just it's not the end result, but it's one of the results of the exercise program. And I think that's a really nice way of thinking about it differently, because I've definitely been guilty of that. Just when someone asks me about what I do, I list the things that it consists of. And those are just like things, they're just elements where the person is not thinking like, oh, like I really like the fact that you give 6 days a week exercise instead of 4 days a week. They wouldn't even think about how many days a week it takes. They're thinking, I want to be healthy, or I want to lose weight, or I want to fit into those pants. So that's really clever. Thank you, Quentin. That's a really different way of actually just thinking about everything.
Very true.
Quentin, I want to add something. I'm also guilty of that. I think that my husband used to say that because in consulting, we're solving a problem. We're not giving even an offer or a plan. If there is someone with acute problem, which they're looking for a solution and they don't have much time and they really want a solution, on the table, even if it's take a few weeks, okay? Because they try different kind of fruit. This is where you arrive on the right time and place to them. So we're solving problems. So my thing is that, how do I reach to the people that I know I can help to solve or elevate their problem?
Exactly. Okay. Thank you for that. That's exactly right. So let's talk about that then, how to create and sell an outcome for those people. So a great way to work on that outcome is, or to position the outcome, is that both you and the client would be responsible or accountable for the outcome. Okay, what that does, it means the client is less likely to cancel sessions. And it's canceling sessions is easier to do when the session has a real outcome for them, when you're speaking about the outcome, as opposed to, oh, well, you've still got 10 lessons with me. Is like, no, we still have to reach that final goal. We still have so much weight to lose. We still need to lose centimeters, always, all of those outcomes that you've got to approach. And canceling a long-term goal that you've agreed on and that you're going to accomplish with somebody is always harder to do than if you just did it on your own. So sell the outcome. I think I've kind of made that point pretty clear, and have a more guaranteed, and you can generate yourself a more guaranteed income, a more sustainable business in that way. Okay. So let's carry on with that. A good outcome is a specific goal in a specific time frame, and I think nobody knows that better than personal trainers. And but it also depends on your niche and your ability as a trainer to set the goals and help your clients achieve them. So some examples, and Neil started mentioning some of the losing weight, gaining so much muscle, improve your 5K running time, and
That's one for Jorn. Jorn's got he's pushing that 5K time down and down every time I see him, and he does it with like minimalist or barefoot shoes, or sometimes I think you run barefoot, completely barefoot sometimes, eh, Jorn?
Sometimes with barefoot, but yeah, with minimalist shoes. Think of those like Vibram 5 fingers or Vivo barefoot.
Yes, yeah, okay. Well, maybe is that why you?
Sorry, I just wanted to ask Jorn to share with us how is it different for you just as a trainer, and you've got to think about this towards your clients as well. How much different is your approach towards training when the outcome is not like, it's not based on something that's irrelevant to you? So like sometimes if you like try to give a client a goal, for example, like, oh, that you could lose weight and you could do that, that might not be important for them, but obviously it's important for you and it's something interesting for you to see your 5K time go down. So with your goal being that, like how much more motivated are you to train because it's a goal that you're interested in?
For myself now, yeah. Or for
yourself?
Like, I don't think about putting my 5K time down. Like, I am now just concentrated on running for my marathon, but through consistency, there's improvement. So I'm not concentrated on an outward goal. So I've stopped doing that. I'm more concentrated on being consistent rather than having an arbitrary goal, like lose this amount at so many weeks. Because when you don't hit it, like there's always an empty feeling I have found. So there's been more joy in not putting so much pressure on myself, but just being consistent.
Okay, but you also do have that, there is some sort of extrinsic goal or intrinsic goal when you want to do that marathon, right? So what I'm saying is it doesn't always have to be like the generic kind of thing. When there's a performance-based outcome, that can be like a way of sharing like your own story, and that can also like hook people in other ways, because there's not just like these generic ones. I'm trying to get to the fact that there's not just generic, oh, I want to lose this amount of weight or gain this amount of muscle. For a big game changer for me was when I had a performance goal, and it's that kind of switch in mindset. And I found that I was a lot more consistent, and you're looking for consistency when I found a goal that I was actually interested in, instead of just like thinking, oh, like I want to lose like 5 kilograms. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, I found that as well. Like, it's always been one of my big goals to run a marathon, and I was just like, screw it, this year it's my marathon year, and I'm gonna train for it, because most of the gyms have been closed for such a long time. So yeah, I'm showing my story, and there's been so many people like speaking to me already, like, how are you doing it? Like, oh, you wearing minimalist shoes, can you teach me? And like so forth. So it's been quite interesting. Like, I don't even reach out to people, but people are coming to me for advice or any of those questions, actually.
So sorry, Dawn, I have then a question. So how do you motivate people in terms of, so it's a self-motivation for intrinsic interest. How you motivate people to be consistent? Because you're absolutely right. If there is no consistency, there are no result, okay? So when people drop backward, let's say they're consistent for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they had a very difficult week or two, and then they start to slash backward. How do you motivate them to be consistent, to come back to whatever program they put in front of the face, or in terms of the commitment to the program, to be consistent?
That's like a really hard question, because I don't know, I haven't had that many clients. So there's been 1 or 2, and those people, yeah, they lost motivation after a while, but if you show them compassion, like I'm not a drill sergeant, so I would listen to them, what they actually struggling with, and see what they are telling me, and see if it's just an excuse or so forth, and try and be a helping hand rather than, oh, just do it. Like there's nothing to worry about. Be more like compassionate and accountability, because they always feel bad, like they have this oh no, I didn't exercise and you must be like so disappointed in me, and like I'm disappointed in myself and so forth. But just doing it and being compassionate and say like everyone gets that, like it's normal. Actually losing motivation is normal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where setting these goals as well, and being very clear with the client when they start. If you can quantify where they are in the beginning in terms of measurement and weight, and or the amount of, or their time in terms of running a 5K, all of that sort of stuff. If you can measure that in the beginning, then as they progress to their final goal, then you can regularly stop and do that measurement again and say, do you remember not too long ago you weighed this much? Not too long ago your 5K time was this, and look how far you've come. I think that's a great motivator for people then to carry on to their final goal.
Yeah, and just from my perspective, to answer your question a little, I found that the people that are not consistent are actually, they don't know what they want. So when they set a goal, they normally just think in the more generic kind of spectrum.
Correct.
But doing the work that Quentin went through with us on the first lesson, if you do a goal setting and then get people to tell you what they think that they want, and then really ask them, challenge them, why is that important to them? With the company that I'm busy training, I'm going through this process of what Quentin taught me, and I'm finding much different reasons. And I've actually had people be like, oh, actually, like the reason for the thing is this, and then the goal of what they actually want to change. And I think if you can get people to actually find that inner reason, it's much easier for them to be consistent, because that's what I was talking to you on about. Like running the marathon is important to them. If it's important to you and it's actually something that you want, the consistency comes much easier. And then with professionals like ourselves, it don't matter if it's training or something else, they just might need that reminder, or like in the app, like you can send them a little, like just like a little reminder and say, hey, like your session is today. And I mean, that it kind of gives you the best chance possible. I mean, because at the end of the day, if people are not going to be consistent, they won't. But I think using the combination of these things, it gives you the best chance possible to have consistency with clients.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Neil. So shortly put is that you need to look into a bigger goal and to break it or divide it into chunks that you're able to swallow and commit to that.
Yeah.
And I think with regard to Jon, perhaps he's not looking, for him he got the marathon, but with his people it's just the starting of running barefoot, which there is a lot of benefit to that, earthing, and there's Zulabad as an example for that did it 30 years ago, okay? And then build that and feel how they feel, at the end of the training, and why they need to come back with what you said, Neil, as a reminder, 2 or 3 times a week. Are you still keeping up? I'm trying to see where you are, about like a little kind of motivation. That's great. And I have a great name for you, Jon, the compassionate trainer.
Yeah.
Because training and all those kind of things, it's quite masculine kind, and I think our world start to change to have not feminine but a little bit more deeper understanding, and not just pushing, being more compassionate, understanding people challenges and difficulties in different time, but yet not give up on them even if they drop aside for 2 or 3 weeks. Come back and tell them, let's come back, let's pick up from where we stop. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
very
very good. Yeah, and I think the thing, it's maybe not necessarily about setting bigger goals, but it's finding the real goal, the real motivation. And I think that's what Neil's saying. You know, is somebody saying, I want to lose 5 pounds in 5 weeks or whatever. It's like, okay, that's great, but why do you want to lose 5 pounds? Well, I want to look better. Well, why do you want to look better? Well, I don't feel very confident. Well, why do you want to be confident? If you can ask why like 100 times, eventually you'll get to that nugget. And that final nugget, so let's say it is about being confident and I want to feel better about myself. It's much harder for a client to quit on that goal than just losing 5 pounds for the sake of it. Cool. Nice.
Yes, that's actually.
Sorry, you on?
No, that actually makes sense, like what Quentin says.
Awesome, yeah. And I think what we're talking about here is also relevant to the offer, because so many times we get caught up on selling, like I was saying, the things like the listing, the things that you do as part of your service. But if you actually think about the result and the goals that people have given you, that's what you actually have to, if I'm understanding this correctly, that's what you actually have to sell. You sell in the results, you sell in what this gets you, what training with Neil gets you, not how many sessions he gives you or how like specialized he is. It's people, if you can give that idea that, what you do gets them to the thing that they want to achieve, then it's a no-brainer. I think.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, well, that's fantastic. Great discussion, guys. Thank you. So if I had to, invite you to an event and I got 1,000 people in the hall and they are all keen to do yoga or do fitness training or learn how to do long distance training, I call a group of people aside at the comrades and I say, come on, Jorn, get on the stage here. Here's a microphone. Tell people what you could teach them. Can you do that for now? What is it that you're going to say?
Yes, I will say yes.
Good. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about. What do you say? I'm hoping you've got something in mind, but I just want to get to a few more things. So, from the consultation that Neil did with me and with the lesson, there's a little exercise that you can take that a little bit deeper and then translate it into doing promotions and marketing. So if you can unearth and discover what is the specific problem or struggle that your ideal customer is experiencing right now and how they describe it in their own words, that is the starting point, the exercise you're going to go to determine the before picture where that client is, and then also ask them what circumstances are you currently in, what circumstances are in their lives, and what do they have that they don't want, and what do they not have that they do want. So those are quite powerful questions because that lays the foundation for this before picture that we're going to sketch for the client. And this is on a specific point, as I said with a consultation, but it's also something if you really understand your ideal customer or their avatar, then most of them are going to have similar issues. Yes, they'll have individual issues, but you can develop your marketing and your promotion around these broader ideas. So when your prospect has a specific problem, they are focused on a specific solution and not a general solution. They want a specialist like you and not somebody that promises sort of a vague, you're going to get fitter, you're going to lose weight. And if you can nail that, and nail that transformation, that's what your message is all going to be about. And so basically the transformation or the after picture is going to be the opposite of those two questions that we asked, the specific problems that people have. So if someone's struggle is to lose weight, the transformation is losing weight. Still a little bit too broad, but you guys get the idea. Another one is if somebody wants to be in shape, the transformation is being in shape. That is but more specific, more related to kind of measurements and and that type of stuff. But also, like I said, the deeper why they are doing this sort of thing. I don't know, Neil, if you can think of any more particular examples of this.
No, I don't think it's about the particular example, but I think it's what we've been talking about. Keep talking about like finding what it is that people achieve by what you do. So even if that's even if that's not fitness, how does someone feel, or what is the benefit that person gets after breath work? And for me, when I did a breathwork session, like the effect was 100% immediate. But you have to get people to do the action to get that outcome. So if you keep talking about the outcome and not talking about the things that make up that session, then you're talking to the right voice in that head, because that's what the people want. Like, I felt so stress-free after that session. I felt so grounded. I felt so present. I love that feeling. Like, if you were to tell me like about the introduction process and how you talk to me about it, and then how we do the breath work and the shaking around, like if you told me about those things, like you're just listing things that we do in the session. But when you selling your product, or when you selling your offer, if you just talk about those things that you can get as a result from what you do, then I think you're talking to the right part of you're talking to the right voice. Does that make sense?
Fantastic. Yeah. Thanks, Neil. That's a great summary. Cool. So to get started into sort of more practical things, if you could write down what your clients need, well, start with that process, the transformation you want. Write down the things that you think they need in order to achieve those results. So the list is could be a couple of things that you believe are non-negotiable, and this includes that they have to stick to the three times a week workout. They must adhere to nutritional advice. Maybe they need some habit coaching, just to get them into the routine, accountability, and that they must watch workout videos or motivational videos. Or they must do regular exercises. I think, Alit, you've got good examples of where people have to do their homework. And if these are the non-negotiables that you can start writing down for your clients and that they need to commit to. Okay. So that kind of starts forming the core ingredients of what this irresistible offer is that we're going to construct. So an irresistible offer starts with a promise. And we've spoken about that sort of quite a lengthy thing, and then we start talking to them about the process that it's going to the process that we will take them through in order to achieve that promise, and then the subject is going to come up, but the price. Okay, how much is this going to cost? And for a lot of us, that's usually the thing that sort of scares us, and we think, oh my goodness, how am I going to tell them what the price is? But the other part of it, and I'll get into each one of these individually, is then what sort of additional bonuses or value add can we give them? And that's where I'm saying that online fitness business offers so many extra opportunities for us to add in value without it costing us any more time or any more money, by just kind of helping giving more value to the client. So, and bundling certain things together in a clever way for the clients. And then always maybe giving some sort of risk reversal. We're telling clients, that you believe in your program and that you're willing to give some sort of guarantee. And then creating scarcity and urgency. So just having an offer out there and hoping somebody will join whenever they feel like it, and one day and the offer is kind of lingering, it doesn't give people a reason to act now and take you up on the offer. I'll talk to you about how we create a little bit of scarcity and urgency. And then the final part of that is telling the story, is answering the why questions that prospects have. Often when we tell a client, we're only going to have this thing for a short while, or the program is for 2 months or whatever, all of those sort of things, it's a natural reaction for people to go, but why is she doing that? Why are they putting it this way? Why is it only why does it cost so much? All of these questions, if we don't answer them, then the client's going to answer it for you. So all of this stuff is basically creating that offer. And this could be something that you could verbally tell clients, or this could be something that you have on a website or a web page, or the email that you're sending clients, or the voice note that you're sending. All of this can be used as sort of an outline or a structure for presenting your offer to people. Okay. So there's different types of offers. Let's build it up from the bottom up. So you could, for instance, online, you could give people free content. And this is where I know Elit gets very nervous when we say give people free content. This is where you can create something that costs you nothing in terms of time and money, like, for instance, a Facebook group where you create a community of people that's doing yoga, and where people just getting to know each other and people share with each other. That's something that you could give it an intrinsic value, and it is a value for the client, because it's always great to be part of something that you could share with other people. And that's something that doesn't cost you anything. So setting up free content or community is a good place to start, or on-demand workout videos. So this is something, yes, it's maybe takes some time to construct that, and it's not something that we sort of advise you start with, as in that's what you got to be selling. But if you over time can, just put a couple of videos together, even if it's short little clips and something like that, you can provide that to your audience as part of a bundle or a package that you put together. So those are the different elements. And then as you go up the ladder, you get to something like where you do, say, group virtual coaching, or one-to-one virtual coaching. And then obviously at the right at the top of the pyramid is live coaching. And as you go up this ladder, it's more of you that you're giving in all of these section. And what that means is that you can, at the bottom with the free stuff and the on-demand videos, you can spread that around and give it to as many people as you like. But as it goes up, there's fewer and fewer people that you can actually allocate that time for, because we also don't want to create a situation where you're just working more hours. But the stuff at the bottom is more scalable, can reach more people. The stuff at the top, you can't do too much of that. But this is where the pricing comes in, is the stuff at the bottom, maybe you can give away for free, or you can charge a very low amount. But as you go up the scale up to where it's live coaching directly one-on-one with you, that's the highest value. That's the premium product that you want to sell. And you can think, if you get somebody to come up this pyramid from the bottom up, the discussion about price is not jumping from free to live, but like the one basically sells the other, and people sort of see the value as they go up the pyramid. And once at the top, then it's like a no-brainer. I want that transformation that I know, and I can see that Elit is providing me throughout this process, and it's going to be amazing if I have live session with her. So the price is not an issue.
Sorry, Quentin, just to go back,
Mm.
can you clarify the group virtual coaching, one-to-one virtual coaching?
Yeah.
Live coaching, okay, it's one-to-one like Zoom or Skype or anything like that. But the group virtual coaching, what come up to mind as I connect to quite a numerous group, is that when they want to promote a program, perhaps with alliance with someone else, they give like 1 hour where they explain about the program with the person, and they give also like a sample experiment, for maximum 5 to 7 minutes. Is what are you talking about, group virtual coaching, or is something completely different?
Yeah, look, I mean, these are just kind of examples of what I'm putting. We could probably construct a whole lot of different things and add them in here. And your pyramid will look different to Joran's pyramid as opposed to Neil's pyramid in terms of what you can offer, in terms of getting creative around adding things in to all of those things. So for instance, just thinking aloud, if you could, if you want to do a live session at the bottom where you literally just talk to people about a healthy lifestyle or whatever, and not necessarily coaching them, that could be something that could be in there. But what I just in terms of that example, I was thinking, if you're doing one-to-many on a virtual Zoom session where it's you and 5 people in the class, or 20 people, or whatever it is that you do, where the one-to-one is just one-on-one, and you've got one person on the other side. Neil, I don't know if you can help me with more sort of practical examples in terms of this.
Yeah, well, it depends on the example, but on-demand workout video, so that would be obviously, it takes you more time to construct a session, and you're actually giving, like you're doing a session, right? It's not specifically made for one person, so that can be shared with many people. So then, for example, it would be a little bit more expensive if it wasn't just a pre-recorded video. If you were to do, say for an example would be a yoga session, like a group yoga session. So it's Zoom yoga. It's not for one specific person, but 20, 50, whatever amount of people can actually join. If you had someone that's very specific about the yoga, they want more individual attention. It could be a small intimate group, maybe less than 5 people, where you could show them a flow or something like that, and then literally walk around and correct these 2, 3, 4 people or something like that. And then the example at the top, obviously, if someone just has to be all one-to-one time, whether it's coaching, whether it's teaching a class, whether it's breath work. I think the idea is that if it's a one-to-one, the amount of time that you're using on that person is just focused on that one specific area. So the price has to be a lot higher. Whereas if you've got a Zoom call, you can have 100 participants. The group would be a lot cheaper for each one of those 100 people to get in. But I think the idea is the more people that you can actually like service, or the more things that this product or offer, if it can service a lot of people, then the price obviously has to reflect that, because you are able to either resell that, or a lot of people are able to join at one time. So I think the idea of this is just to show that as more and more of your direct time is taken, your offer needs to be more expensive.
And all of these things are different elements, and it doesn't, a client doesn't only have to buy one. Somebody can, so what I'm saying is, using all of these elements, you can construct a combined offer. You can have a bit of the free community, and you can have live coaching, and you can have a little bit of group coaching. You can mix it up. And for instance, your example, Elliot, where you've got yoga and breath work, so you could mix it up, a little bit of this and a little bit of that in terms of the final offer, because it's focused on an outcome and not about the individual activities.
Yeah. So, for example, the specials or the sales that you're running on your breath work, instead of just always saying, okay, instead of the price normally being 500, it's 400 at the moment, or it's 300 at the moment. You can say, well, actually, at the moment, my normal breath work is 500. The price is 500, but we're running a special where you get 3 Zoom yoga sessions with me as well. And then those can also be group sessions. So you're making the offer more valuable, but you're also bundling in something that you already do. Let's say, for example, for a gym, you're already doing these yoga classes. Now, maybe as you sell part of your breath work, all you need to do is actually have someone set up a laptop, and now you're adding something for an offer for something else, but it's actually not taking anything more of your time because you're already doing that class, for example. But it makes your offer more appealing. And now, instead of having to always cut down your price, your offer is more valuable because they're not just getting breathwork, they're getting breathwork and yoga sessions as well. I think that's quite a good example.
100%. Okay. Yeah, great. And obviously, remember, those live virtual sessions can be recorded and they can be used as on-demand workout videos. So
yeah, so it all flows into each other.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Great. Okay. So pricing. one thing that a lot of people like to do is they construct their offer, they put their little package together, and then they go to different people and says, how much would you be willing to pay for this? How much would you be willing to? And that's actually the wrong question to ask, because price is relative, right? It's if somebody says something is too expensive, that's just the belief. All they're basically saying to you is that I don't really see the value in what you're putting together there. And this is where maybe, describing to them, okay, we're going to do 3 sessions, and then we're going to do 5, and then we're going to run around the block and whatever. And they go, really, I'm not sure that's value in that. But if you describe the outcome to them, then they can start seeing the value. Actually, a good question also to ask, I should put it in the top there, but is also, if you don't do this, what is that going to mean? What sort of what are you going to have to sacrifice if you don't do this exercise, if you don't commit to this program with me? What are you going to have to let go? What goals and what dreams are you going to have to let go?
So I've got a really good example with another client, long-term client of mine, and he really battles with his consistency. But what he's found is he only really commits to something when there's like something like almost publicly on the line, because this guy works in a media company. And he's actually set up this race at the moment where they're doing this like ultra marathon in cycling, but he's doing it for like this big publicity event, and they're actually splitting it up, but it's going to be for charity, blah, blah, blah. And he hasn't been consistent with his exercise program, like moving into it, but he knows that there's an event and that this big thing coming up. So I know I don't have to waste my time saying anything else. I just have to say, listen, the deadline is here. And if you're the guy that has set up this event and then is going to let down everyone on the race, then what happens? And then all of a sudden, boom, he's back in and he's doing his session.
That's a good one.
He knows his own trigger. So he just told that to me, and then I just use that with him. So
brilliant. Okay. So the other thing is that price is often part of your marketing, and you telling people what you think it's worth. If you give a cheap price, they think, okay, well, and then it must be that type of course where it's not really serious, and she's not really that qualified. That's probably why she's giving it. So you sending those messages with your price. And then, of course, you are attracting a high caliber client, which high caliber committed clients is less effort than those clients who are not good clients. Remember, we spoke about the avatar, the people you actually want to repel as opposed to the people you want to attract. So maybe sometimes it's worth getting rid of those other clients. And a funny thing that happens, and I think it's in all sorts of coaching, if you give your stuff away and you're feeling you're charging too cheap, is that you start building up a little bit of resentment towards maybe not to the clients, but to the sessions that you are doing with those clients. And then you're not giving everything because you're thinking, really, am I doing this? Am I actually getting up at 4 a.m. to train that guy? So you don't want that situation either.
But to train that guy, I'm doing all of this work to just get that from it. Like,
yes.
So little.
True. Okay. So here's an exercise I want you guys to do. We're not going to have time to go through it in detail now. It's a pity because this is quite cool to sort of go through it step by step. But I want you guys to...
Why don't you skip the slide and we actually do this on the Friday implementation session?
Fantastic idea. Thank you.
This is really good. I've done this before with Quentin.
Yes, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's keep that for later. Let's build the tension and say, what is that? Now I want to see that. No, you're not going to see that slide unless you come on Friday. And we're not recording that either, so you have to be there. Okay.
Now you're making the offer more irresistible.
Yes, exactly. All right.
Yeah, I won't be here on Friday. So...
Oh, sorry, Jorn, you're going to miss out. That's going to be a pity, eh?
He's joking, John. He's joking.
I'm teasing. Okay. So something else when it comes to, doing the pricing is doing an apples and oranges comparison. Identifying other options that people could do instead of doing your program or your exercise routine or whatever it is that you, And so, for instance, over here, if let's say this little package here looks like a book or a DVD series, but let's pretend that's an online fitness program by Neil. Okay, and there's a nice picture of Neil over there, and that's where you've put in all your hard work of workouts and training, and everything is in that package, and you selling it for X. And the other way to do that is that for that same program, or to get the same results, you're going to have to go to gym and sign up for a gym membership and pay a personal trainer at the gym. But then you're also going to have to travel to the gym, and you're going to have to buy fancy clothes to impress everybody there. And you're going to have to do all of these things. And that's going to cost you X $100 a month, as opposed to my package that is only, it's going to cost you $30 or whatever. I don't know why I'm talking in dollars, but that's
your brain just going to
yes.
dollars.
I just want it's where my attraction lies, is dollars. so that would be an apples and oranges comparison, and that benchmarks and gives people in their minds an idea of what is your program actually worth. Okay. All right. So another way to use your price effectively is to compare your offer to more expensive offers that you provide. So in terms of that pyramid, if you are doing a promotion for one of the things on the lower down the pyramid, is tell people, actually, a one-on-one session with me in the gym is going to cost you $1,000 a session. And so compared to that, this is a steal, because you're getting exactly the same thing. It is just recorded as opposed to one-on-one with me. Okay. And then a good question to kind of learn how to tell people is, what does it cost them not to have this solution? So I found this interesting article that says, according to the CDC, inactive adults have considerably higher direct medical costs than active adults, and the cost associated with physical inactivity increases with age. If you take into consideration maintaining your health without exercise, you are factoring in increased health insurance costs, food costs, pharmaceuticals, and visits to the doctor. People who exercise are also more productive employees. So just think about the impact of that. If you become a better employee, your career starts flourishing because you are more active and more engaged and more present at work. What is that going to mean for you? It's exponential income increase and that type of thing. And that is all examples of speaking to the outcome, or getting the outcome or not getting the outcome.
I think it's just another value that I just want to share with actually charging what you're worth, and actually charging maybe even a higher price than what you believe that you're worth. Because I was placed in that situation quite early into my fitness career. I'd only been qualified, I think it was like a year or 6 months before I went to the cruise ships. And I was charging, I think, like 250 Rand a session back like when I just started. And that was like a home visit or whatever. Then I got to the cruise ship and they had standardized pricing for personal training. And it was $100 a session. So in theory, in my mind, I went from like 250 Rand a session to 1,500 Rand a session. And I thought, it made me think differently. Like I thought, what could I actually do differently to like make I feel like I'm giving them what it's worth? But that thinking actually like really got the cogs moving, and you actually think like, yo, what actually can you do to make your service that premium? And then when you get around the whole price thing, then I mean, there's only so many things you can do, but if you're doing like the best thing, so why can you not charge what say other people are charging? Like that example that I gave of that guy that's charging like thousands of euros for like essentially the same thing that I'm doing right now and charging like 2,000 Rand. So that's also just like another way of thinking that like it could stimulate your brain in a different way, and then all of a sudden new things can come like to light, and then everything can kind of change.
Yeah.
Neil, I just want to comment on that. That's a very nice trick, but doesn't work for everyone. So you've been in a surrounding that charge higher price. It's like you will go in certain type of Virgin Active Gym Red Club, you're paying much more than other clubs that have various prices, okay? but you didn't really change your own offering. You have been only in a setup that people willing to pay more, and you took, let's say, advantage, or you use that to your own benefit. Okay, I didn't say how you change actually your offering, but your setup have been changed. Okay, so I'm a little bit confused about that.
So I'm not saying that in terms of the offering. I'm talking about how, when you actually charge what you would be worth. I mean, I wasn't doing the session. The example was, I wasn't doing the session the same way when I was charging 250 to when I was charging 100, because when I was charging all of a sudden this $100, and it seemed like such a lot of money for me. Yes, even though that's what people in that setting were used to paying, I actually thought, how can I make my service better? And I actually ended up learning like different skills and different things that I could do so that I would be providing that service, because I didn't want to feel that if someone had a session with me that they didn't get their money's worth. So all I'm saying is, I'm just talking about it in the offer sense, but how it actually changed my thinking of, like, before I didn't like think of doing like an assisted stretch with someone after their session when I was charging 250 Rand. But all of a sudden, when I was in this situation when I was forced to charge more because that was the standardized price, it made me actually think, what can I actually do to make what I do better? So I'm just saying that it also, increasing your prices or charging what you're worth can also change your thinking and actually better your own service, because you won't get that resentment if you actually are, like what Quentin says, if you actually cheaping, like making your whatever you do cheaper, you kind of get that resentment. You maybe not feel that you should finish the session off the same way or ask for feedback like you normally would, because you actually don't feel that you're charging what you should. Yeah. And that will all go away if you actually just think of that elevated price, or what else I could do.
And Neil, you're starting to give away a couple of secrets on that slide that we're going to do on Friday. I can see where you're going with that. We'll record it. Don't worry, you won't miss out. Okay. And then sort of a random idea is to offer trials. And when it comes to because remember, we've now spoken about the promise, the process, and the price. After that is, how can we put some things together, bundling and bonuses. So it is it's the process of adding different elements to the offer, and it adds value to something that the prospect might be sitting on the fence about, and it's designed just to push them over the fence and really make it into a no-brainer. Okay. Just like as with the offer, it's about how you speak to it, the way you present these bundles as maybe gifts or goodies or extra value. That's going to be very important, as opposed to, oh yeah, I'm just throwing this in, I'm just throwing that in, but never mind that, it's just a couple of things. But if you actually give it a value when you add it on, it increases the overall offer value. So the types of bonuses that you could do is you could, for instance, like I said, with core bonuses, just add more value and just eliminate some objections. Or you can do the incentives as a fast acting bonus, incentivize as people buy sooner, then it gets cheaper. And then time delayed bonuses or surprise or value add bonuses. And then my favorite one is unadvertised bonuses. So here's something that you could do as a little trick, just to surprise your clients or delight your clients, or under promise and over deliver. Is something that you could, a bonus that you could give people that you're not even advertising, that you literally give to people once they've signed up. It's just an idea, and I think it's quite a great idea for already setting off your relationship with that client on a good foot, because you're giving them something that they feel like they didn't even pay for. So a couple of practices in terms of, or best practices in terms of bonuses. Don't just add more workouts and more training to an existing program. Think of something else that like templates or guides or resources or articles or info that you can add. And yes, it's something that you could do. I talk about follow-up problems. I often say, when you buy a when you buy a product or a service, to solve a certain problem, often you create some other problems that you didn't have before you bought that item. So for instance, if you buy a gym membership, you suddenly realize, oh my goodness, I'm probably going to need some shoes. I'm going to need some, outfits, and I'm going to need a water bottle, and I'm going to need a gym bag. So if you can make your customers' lives easier by giving them all of that stuff, I'm not saying give them clothes like Virgin Active gives you a bag, but think of stuff that you can give that eliminates some of those things and solve some of those follow-up problems that it creates. And then here's a cool example of using the bonuses to address the objections that people have. If you know the typical things that people are telling you why they're not doing it, and you can give them a bonus to do that. So here's something, I don't know how to eat healthily. Okay, well, I've happened to put together a 30-day meal plan, and that's going to come included in my bonus offer. I can't cook. Well, here's the quickest and easiest meal prep methods or plans. I work late hours. Well, here's on-demand videos. You can train whenever you want, wherever you want. I never stick to a program. Maybe add in that habit training that we were talking about. I struggle to stay motivated. Well, here's a library for you of motivational videos that you can watch and that you can, that can pump you up in the mornings. So those are just kind of some examples in terms of bonuses. And then getting to the guarantee, there's different kinds of guarantees. 30, 60, 90-day guarantee, double your money back guarantee. There's a no guarantee, which basically says I'm so confident that I'm going to deliver value that I'm not even giving you a guarantee. Then people go, oh, I guess they must be good. A results guarantee or a conditional guarantee. I'm not going to sort of go into that, but think about that a little bit. And how can you just put people's mind at ease that they are going to, or that you're confident that they're going to get the results that they want. Offers pricing, there's different ways to do that. You can do monthly, annual, all of that sort of stuff. I'll show you some examples of that. But just a way to create scarcity and urgency is to create something like we did with this course, is that you could create scarcity in terms of 10 spots at a certain price. And once that is out, then that price sort of then falls away, and then we'll move into the next higher price and the next higher. So this is something you can get quite creative with in terms of the promotions that you offer over time. So if you, let's say once every quarter offers a promotion, you can use the sort of wave pricing that keeps a continuous sort of urgency there, that this specific price is going to go away, and not, I'll join next month, or I'll join the month after that. All right. And a couple of other ideas in terms of creating scarcity and urgency. There's always X number of spots at X price, limited live sessions. When I talk about a hot topic live, I'm only going to do this one particular type of class once, so you better be there. Like Friday, you've got to be there for that one slide. We'll never do it again. And then people pay especially for your attention. And then let me tell you quickly the story about this thing about people always answering the question about why in their minds. They did this experiment where they went to a place where people did photocopying on a Xerox machine, and then they would cut in line, go in front and say, and give the person or tell the person, I want to make copies, please let me in. And for the first group of people, they didn't give any reason. They just said, can I cut in front of you? And I think something like 50% of people said, no, go get in the back. For the second group of people, they cut in front and they said, please, can I make copies? I'm in a hurry. I only have 5 minutes. My boss is waiting for me. Can you let me in? And 90% of people said, cool, no problem. Cut in, go do your thing. And then the third group of people, they said, please let me in. I want to make copies. That's the reason they gave. I want to make copies. And 90% of people said, okay, that's fine, which explains that people, as long as you give them a reason, doesn't matter what the reason is, it ups your chances of them saying it's okay, you may, even if it's a poor excuse, like I want to cut a line because I want to make copies versus my boss is waiting for me, I'm in a hurry. So that's an interesting thing. So always give people reasons. Your audience will always ask you why, and give them the reason why. Why is there a sale? Why is there a webinar? Why is there a discount? Why is there a bonus? Answer those questions for them as much as you can. If you don't tell them why, they'll answer it, and you control the story. Okay, so I've got some examples that I found online, and you guys could probably do that as well and go and Google the different types of things that you could put into your training program. So have a look at this as, for instance, a guy that sells a starter program, a premium program, and then Elite's program.
That's elite.
Oh, okay. But hers, Elite's is the most expensive, $399.
That
So,
was funny.
I know. Okay, so you guys can sort of have a look at, you see the different things that they included in each package. This is how they're constructing their offers and putting it into different combinations that they offer at different price points. There's another example of that: single one-on-one session, one-on-one package, and then a home training program. And again, all of the different elements that they're adding into the programs. From Our Fitness Home, Body Zone Fitness, Facebook Lives, Ask the Trainer private Facebook group, another Facebook group, and a workout of the day. So, you know, it's the way you speak about it. I mean, these are quite ordinary things, but it's the way you present it to your clients. Okay. This one, again, all the different pricing, all the subscription include unlimited access to 1,000 workouts, 3 to 12 weeks of workouts, stream from your tablet, offline viewing, Facebook community, scientifically designed workouts. Okay, so all of those sort of different things. And that is that, as they say in the classics. And we can, if you guys can work on that in terms of constructing an offer the way I said, it'll be great if we could see some examples of that on Friday. You're on mute, Elliot.
Sorry, Quinton, not on Friday. My mind rolling around, you know, that kind of video, that it's a nice idea. And I have another idea about breath work and essential oils. So it takes time to build things. It's not like
yeah. No, I just literally listing things out. You don't have to create it. Just listing.
Okay.
Just list it out. List it out.
Perfect. That I can come up with that.
No, I don't expect you to build.
I'm always jumping. Make it ready, and that. Whoa! I know it takes.
Yeah, we want to start next week. Jon, is that okay with you? I know you're not going to be there on Friday.
I think Jon he stepped out.
No, I'm still right here. But something didn't work. Yeah, that would work for me. I won't be here, but I'll make the list regardless.
I'll tell you what, if you could post your list in the private group beforehand, then we can look at it and we can give some comments about it in the Facebook group.
Okay, yeah, that would work.
Let's start it that way. And then Elliot, you could also do that in the. I know you love Facebook, so post it in Facebook.
Okay, Quinton, just send me please the link of today into the group. Sorry, I'm really struggling with that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. that reminds me. I've got a little surprise for you. I've put all the videos on a website where you guys have registered in the beginning. You should have access. If you don't have a username and password, just go in with your email that you registered and just say forgot password and get a new password. Let me give you that link.
can you send it to the WhatsApp group? It will be okay.
Okay, yeah, we can
Because
do.
most of us, like you show in your research, 90%, 96% of South African on WhatsApp. So that's great. So
Okay.
that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say something else, but yeah, and I think if you can give the link for to video, and you know what also will be great to title the video how to prepare your offer, or so each video they will know it not. I like to put a date in a head, in a title, so people will know, okay, I'm a bit rusty with the offering, I need to watch it again, or the beginning. If you can give a title, that will be great. How to design your offer in practical, say example, that would be really great.
Okay.
Very
All
nice,
right.
Queen.
Yes,
Wow.
the link. So when you come in, you'll see the members area, and then you'll see all of the other the sort of, here's the online course. I'll show you now. There's the Facebook group. If you don't know where to find it, here's some of the documents and templates, some of the open Facebook groups that we've got, and then some examples of how to construct an online gym, and then how to use the website builder, which I'll go through at some point as well, and show you how to make your own your own website. And then if you click here on the online PT course, you will see all the videos down here. So this was the intro we did. This was the one we did on designing your membership. This was the consultation process. So all of it is in there for you guys to find.
Perfect. Looks stunning. Thank you so
Cool.
much.
Okay.
Yeah, really proud of you.
Yeah.
Do you mind to stop the recording? I want to ask question of the recording.
All right. Okay, cool.
Leon, you can stay with us. It's okay.
It's